So the conversation this morning is actually, should giving have a limit?
No.
Clearly, you would.
If giving had limits yesterday,
Clearly, you would not agree.
I would not have gotten all the gift I got. It should not have limits, please.
Yeah.
Who wants to limit giving? I mean, giving it should be a part of you. It should be something you get to do every day. Do you understand? So
I mean, you were taking a lot yesterday, so I don't know if you're in the right position to say this, but okay. You were taken. Mm-hmm. You should takers have limits, Wuraola. What do you think?
Yeah. I see what you want to do there.
Yeah.
Should takers have limits?
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes, takers should not have limits on their birthdays, but can have limits every other day.
Wow. Double standards. That is
Really?
double standards, man.
Really. Really. But on a serious note, should takers have limits? I think there should be limits to what you take from people, especially when you know that what you're about to take is definitely going to overstretch that person, or not, like, it's going to be more than what the person can afford, and it's not within the capacity of that person.
But sometimes you don't know, though.
Well, I feel like before, okay, let me use mine as an example.
Okay.
So when I was drafting the list, I also drafted the people I know can afford these things, right in my mind. Yeah. So what I did was, I had my list in 2 different categories. Categories for the ones that I know that when I look at their pockets and with what they've said they earn and can afford, I put them in that category. Then there was the list for people that, would not be able to afford certain things. So I put it that way so that I am not overstretching anybody. And actually, when I was sending out the list, I did not tell them it was going to be very compulsory or it has to be something you must buy. Let it still be within your capacity, what you can afford. If you can't, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be angry for not getting what they want per time, especially if you know that this person or the giver actually doesn't have this. And we actually have people that would go extra mile just because they want to make you happy and they want to make you feel good and things like that. But I don't want to be in that position of making other people uncomfortable because I want to be happy or I want to be satisfied. I don't think that's the best deal.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, what actually, inspired the conversation this morning is actually a particular tweet, that we came across on social media. And it actually reads, it's from Sifen Day for You. Okay, Sifen Day for You. All right, it reads, if you are a giver, please know your limits because the takers don't have any. If you're a giver, know your limits because the takers don't have any. So, I mean, it's really owing to what you said, Well, clearly you have a limit. Your limit is by the person's pockets.
Okay, so another rule I set for myself, I don't know if it works for any other person. Whatever I can't afford, I won't force it on anybody. Because I know that
that's a good,
at some point, I would feel selfish. Yeah. So it's all about me, and I am not even trying to consider this other person. It's even worse if, you're married, your husband or your partner. I mean, there's this form of entitlement that you have. And because your partner knows that I am obliged to do certain things, so they would overstretch themselves. I really love people who would come out honest and let you know, okay, you know what? I can't actually afford this. Yeah. This is what I can afford. So a quick story. I wanted Bond Street for my birthday gift.
Bond Street?
Yes.
Sorry, what is that?
It's wig.
Oh, okay.
Bond Straight wig. Like the tip is actually quite sharp, and then it's all the way it's long and all of that. But that's like the recent trend when it has to do with hairstyles. Ladies have come out, and it's quite expensive. I mean, the cheapest you get is probably 150, depending. Yes, right. 150,000 naira, depending on the length.
Right. Yeah.
So I wanted that for my birthday, and I kept singing it in the ears of everybody who cared to listen. Well, guess what? I did not get bone straight. But what I got was, looking at the value of that and bone straight, I would prefer what I got every day, every time. So, and to be honest, everybody told me, look, if you're looking for bone straight, nobody is going to get you that, except you buy it yourself. But we will try to get you something, but definitely not bone straight. So right from time I took my, a part of me tried to forget about it, but a part of me was telling me that, you know what, somebody just might surprise you. Do you understand? But the point there now is that I feel that if you are going to ask for certain things, or if someone gives you something a lot of times, you should not take advantage of that and then feel that at any point in time you need it, you should get it. Even when this person can't afford it. It won't be fair to the giver. And that's why you hear people say things like, you know what, I can't bite more than I can chew. I can't buy more than I can chew. So I'm just going to do what is within my ability for this person. And then it looks like it is. Now it's dicey when, for instance, maybe I got you something quite expensive, or I got you something nice for your birthday. There's this feeling you get that if you don't buy me something for my own birthday, or you don't buy me something, it's not balanced. It feels like, oh, so I got you something, you didn't get me anything, things like that. I feel giving should be from your heart, like it's just something you do without expecting. Yeah. Because if you put so much expectations to your giving, you probably be disappointed a lot of times, because not everybody would reciprocate that act of kindness, and not everyone actually understands what kindness is and what giving is all about. But the major thing and the key thing is that when you're being given something from someone, especially when it comes often and frequently, do not take advantage of that person, because you do not know what that person had to do to get you that particular thing. I don't know if you've actually given someone a gift that you have actually been hoping for to have, but you actually just got it from someone and you don't even have it. So sometimes it happens like that. But when you take people like that for granted,
actually, when people actually do that, that's, you know, that is like sacrificial giving. Yes. Like you actually need this thing, but you know, just to make this person happy. You give it. You know, you know, my issue with giving is giving out of guilt. You know, just like, you know, what you've just been saying, you know, when people are forced to give out of guilt because, you know, somebody has, I think it's emotional manipulation as far as I'm concerned, in whatever setting it is, a friendship setting, you know, a family setting, a religious setting, whatever setting it may be. If you're being forced, if you are being motivated to give out of guilt, that is not right. You should give because you want to, not because you have to. Do you understand? Want being the strong word there. Because I want to give you this vase, not because I have to give you this vase. You know, you understand? You know, and okay, sometimes the line between want and have can be blurred, as in, you know, sometimes you have to give someone this thing, but you also actually want to give them, you know, that is completely fine. But when you're just doing it because you have to, at some point, because giving is actually an emotional act, but, you know, take it or leave it, you know. You, when you give money to a person, when you gift a person a gift, you know, no matter whether you put in 5% thought into the present or 100% thought into the present, some thought has gone into that, some effort has gone into that gift. So there's an emotional, what's it called? There's an emotion, there's an emotional labor, there's an emotional factor going on, you know, with that particular act,
Yes.
you know, and because of that, because of that, you know, people really need to, you know, give because they want to, you know, not because they are forced to by a person or a relationship. You know, this kind of thing, for instance, in a relationship where, or I gifted you, you know, for instance, you know, I gifted you iPhone on your birthday. Like I gifted you iPhone on your or you know, I gifted you, you know, like a
phone,
you know, a phone on your birthday. My own is coming, oh. I want laptop. That I don't, you know, so, you know, and I think givers need to, this thing about givers never lack. It's quite true, you know, it's quite true. But givers need to have wisdom too, actually, so that they won't lack.
Actually, yes.
Actually. And, you know, I think for me, this is the wisdom behind it. Give according to the capacity that you can. You know, I think I've said this on here before. If someone asks you for 5,000 naira and you genuinely can't afford 5,000 naira, one. Secondly, you know that, and this person says you'll pay you back. Secondly, you know that this person will not pay you back 5,000 naira. Give the person what's with money, you know, that you don't necessarily need, you know. So instead of giving that person 5,000 naira, give the person 2,000 naira. You know, so if the person pays back or the person doesn't pay back or give the person
It doesn't
2,500,
affect you so
it
much.
doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter. Do you understand? You've given. I think that is wise giving. I don't know. You know, so give according to your capacity. Don't give because you are guilty. Give because you want to, and don't give to prove a point
Or impress anyone.
or impress anybody. That is highly like unnecessary. I was going to say irresponsible, but it's highly unnecessary. Like, why would you be giving to impress people? You know,
Because even the takers want to be impressed. Actually, like they want to be impressed, so you probably do everything. I've seen a situation where giving becomes a competition. Like we're five, we're all friends, and there's a competition of who would give the best gift amongst everyone.
Right.
And you see everybody juggling things just to make sure that you are the one giving the best gift or seen as the best person. And sometimes I usually say these things to people because I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Where people would look at your lifestyle, look at your earning, and when you tell them you can't afford certain things, they tell you, big man like you, see where you're working, see what you're doing. I mean, wherever I'm working doesn't mean I have to break my back or give you my life investment.
Yeah.
So if I tell you I can't afford certain things, I can't.
Yeah.
Don't make me feel bad and say, oh, she's just been stingy. Or you hear certain things and you're like, I don't understand. Just because I said I can't afford to give you this thing. In fact, the level of gift you give for some friendships determines the standard of the friendship. Now, what do I mean? We have people who would tell you that, oh, I can't be friends with someone who is stingy because I give a lot. So I can't be the one giving and I'm not getting anything in return. That's toxic.
Right.
Because I feel that if you are giving, just like you have said, first off, give within your capacity. And I feel everyone should have the mindset that when, as a taker or the person receiving the gift, the first thing that should come to your mind was the thoughts this person put into getting you that gift. I don't think the price of the gift or the value of the gift should matter as much as the thoughts the person put into considering the fact that, okay, I have to get or I want to get this person this thing. If I don't buy it, there's nothing you would do. But I thought about it and I gave it to you. So I should actually put in my mind, I should appreciate the thoughts of the person putting this together for me in the first place. So I don't think that there shouldn't be some sort of entitlement when it has to do with receiving gifts as a taker.
So let me ask you. Yesterday was your birthday. If you got agege bread for your birthday, for instance, I gifted you agege bread, with akara inside, maybe like, a bowl of pap. Would you appreciate it?
Yes, I will, because right inside that bread, in the corner of that bread, might be a car key.
No, there's
I've
no
seen it
kaki.
happen.
No, there's definitely not a kaki. It's just akara.
Just akara
Beans cake
bread.
for those
Well, I would actually
international audience.
I would appreciate it, because I felt that you probably sat down to, and now that's another thing about giving gifts, right? When people give when they're intentional about their gift, like you've thought about this person, you've tried to figure out what they like, what they don't like, to try and get something within. In fact, it is more important to me when you've tried to look out for what you see that I do not have, and you just want to give it to me. I feel loved most of the times. For the bread scenario, I would appreciate it, because you've probably looked at me and you realize that I do not have breakfast most of the times, and you feel, okay, on her birthday, let me just give her bread and bean cake.
Okay, how about sachet water? Pure
You've
water.
probably seen that I'm thirsty. For you to get me that,
Ura,
you must have
no
realized
way.
that I am thirsty.
Ura, you will not accept sachet water from
If
me.
if you give me that, I won't be upset.
I'll draw a heart on it and everything.
If you give
Put
me
like
that, I won't be
everything.
upset. But if Bolade should give me that,
Wow.
I'll be very upset.
Mad. Very interesting.
Don't worry me, don't take me serious. But
Yeah.
actually, I feel that the thought you put into giving me that, and there has to be a reason why you decided to give me that particular gift.
Do you
That's
think
what
people
matters.
should give with respect? So, for instance, how I know that you are not going to eat akara, for instance, or maybe maybe too posh, for those kind of meals or something. Do you think then that I should give you like a maybe what's it called, an expensive present, compared to, for instance, beans and akara, #bean cake? Like, so my question is, do you think people should give with respect, or do people should take with respect?
So, did you say take with respect?
Like,
So, I feel that that was why I mentioned that when giving, be intentional about it. Be thoughtful about it, because sometimes we actually have people that if you give them what they have already, or they won't use, or they don't like, they tend to give it out. I know people who you would give gifts and they will give it out. And I've also seen people who you just look at them and you feel that this one does not lack anything good in life. So it's hard to, try to get them gifts, because you've looked at their lifestyle, you've looked at their
those
standards.
are the hardest people.
They can actually afford anything and everything. So, like, you sit down, you can spend a whole week trying to figure out what to buy for this person, and you can't, because you know that this person can afford it. But why don't you still go ahead to buy it? Because this set of people actually feel bad most of the times when they do not get anything from anybody, because they are always in the space of giving and giving and giving. But in return, people think you have it all. So there is nothing more we can give to you. So for people like that, I feel that when you are giving them gifts, if you're putting respect in the in the gift you're giving, then that's no longer something you're willing to do. It means that you now have a goal. Like, okay, so I want this person to see me
in this
particular way, or I want this person to perceive what I am doing in this particular. There is already there is a condition already attached to that giving, which is really not cool. So I feel like just give freely, give willingly, and that's just the best, because that is what, when you give freely, there's this satisfaction and happiness you get. If you're giving and that act is actually making you feel bad within yourself, then you're not.
Yeah.
It's more like you're forcing yourself to do something you do not want to do.
Right.
But if you're giving and there's this level of happiness you have, then that's the best type of giving.
Exactly.
Actually.
Exactly.